Good morning, welcome back to my daily Tour Divide coverage. We're now on day 11, so let's get over to track leaders and check out what's been going on. And I'm recording a little bit earlier this morning, so it's about 6:45 a.m, so 20 to 12 local time in New Mexico, and it looks like, Victor's literally just rolled into Silver City. I'm not sure if he'll stay or not. I mean, personally, I think it'd be good to see him push on a bit and maybe sleep in the desert and not sleep inside every single night. But he'll be able to get a good resupply here. And I think there's a late night gas station, and like things like McDonald's and stuff like that. So it's a fairly big place. And we'll see whether he has a sleep or pushes on. But he'll be on the last stretch. He'll be done tomorrow. So that's where Victor's at. So maybe I'll come back to it by the time I finish recording, just to see if Victor's kind of moved on, or whether he has indeed decided to stop in Silver City. But either way, I think he's probably, even if he does stay in a hotel, it'd be good to see him cut the sleep back. He's nearly done now. You might as well just go all in and see how fast you can really go. So he's going to have that last little section down to the border crossing at Antelope Wells. But I'll check out I'll preview what he's got coming up tomorrow over on Rival GPS in a minute. But it looks like the fires we were talking about, nothing's really materialised as of yet. Looks like we're going to have a new official Tour Divide record. And it's going to make life a lot easier, because at the moment we've got record dots everywhere. So it'd be good just to have the one. So that's where Victor's at. A little further back, so Lawrence and Angus, the gap's it looks like it's gone out a little bit between Lawrence and Angus. I've not heard from Lawrence for a couple of days now. Lawrence, if you're listening, give us a shout. But they've been in some pretty remote country. Angus, I got a message from Angus as well, actually, today. I think everyone's just in the same boat now. When you get to 10 days, I think your body just starts falling apart. For me on these ultras, and I think it's similar for most people, there's normally a low point on day 3 or 4. I think your body's just kind of getting used to it and realizing that, you're going to be doing this for a while, and it switches energy systems, starts burning more fat, that kind of thing. And then I think you're pretty much good until 10 days. From day 3 or 4 to day 10, I just don't think much changes. But then once you get past day 10 onwards, I think the body's just running out of steam a little bit and just needs a good rest. And I think that pattern, I've experienced it myself when I've done longer races, and people I talk to, and I think we just see it and we hear it in the kind of the voice notes and stuff we've had the last couple of days. There's more people, there's more sort of stories on Instagram and stuff, people taking a bit longer here, a bit longer there. And I think it's just fatigue and the body kind of just being fed up with it, to be honest. So Lawrence and Angus, they're about a day behind, so they've got another couple of days left. So Lawrence is in Cuba. Angus sounds like he's going to have to bivvy out tonight, judging from the voice message I listened to. It's midnight now, so it's going to be a bit of a push to get through. He might go for a late one, but we'll see. Lawrence looks like he's already slightly off track. I imagine there's like a motel or a hotel there. I was at Speedway. Oh yeah, Frontier Motel. Be obviously getting the resupply, getting a motel, and to be off again tomorrow, across that sort of highway section and through Pie Town and into the Hilar. And he's ahead of Justinus's winning time from 2024. Angus is a little bit behind. I think they're probably all just going about the similar pace now anyway. I don't think Justinus had too much in the way of adversity at the end of his run. So I don't think. We'll see. Angus may close it, but it depends on sleep really. A little bit further back, we've had a bit of a change. Everyone's kind of been by themselves the last few days. But Mikko, he's looks like he's caught Xavier. They're on this Continental Divide Trail section. You can see here. Whether that's because Mikko's slightly better off road or something like that, or Xavier's had a problem, we don't really know. But yeah, that's the section they're on, and you can see Michael's dot here, the record dot from 2016. which is off track, but that is because this is a new section. I talked about it a couple of days and showed you on Riber GPS. So that's Mike's dot kind of doing the older section, and then it kind of jumps back in further down. And so that's those guys. And then it looks like Felix is kind of like Megan was tracking ahead of Felix for quite a while, but it looks like it's kind of swapped around a bit there. It's not a massive gap. They're both into New Mexico. Felix looks like he's bivvying just before the start of that Continental Divide Trail. Probably makes sense to do it fresh. I mean, we did see on Victor's Instagram the other day some shots. So there's some sort of, it's quite a bit single track and some annoying hiker bike. So doing that fresh, especially single speed, is probably going to be much better. Just get some more energy in the tank. Megan, obviously she's still dominating the women's field. Big gap. And yeah, she looks fairly comfy. And again, she's up quite well. You know, there's a good chunk between her and that women's record as well. So Megan is looking good. So we might get a little bit of a battle there. At the moment, Felix is looking like he could close in on Xavier and Mikko as well. Although we've got that flat section across between sort of Cuba and Grants. I say flat, it's flatter, but on the road it'll be a bit of a disadvantage to him on a single speed. So we'll see how that works out. And then another little pairing, Dries and Yossi, they seem to be tracking at a similar pace. And I guess they'll be to and fro and then seeing each other at resupplies going forward. So that's kind of a bit of an overview. Just got to say thank you, as always, to Redshift Sports. You know how it is. Handlebars, seat post, shock stop stuff, really comfortable grips, pedal adapters, all that stuff. Check out their website, and I've got the little discount code, so I'll chuck that up on the screen as well. And have a little look and see if there's anything catches your eye. And enduro bearings, as I've said already, running these on all my bikes. Just been working on another little frame project, so looking forward to putting another XD15 bottom bracket in that when it's ready. Just excellent products, really good quality, lasts a long time, and you definitely get what you pay for. And so there we go. Enduro bearings, check those guys out too, and thanks very much for the support. Now we'll just have a little look at the Tour Divide thing. I've not taken the POIs off yet. Incidentally, this was created by Sarah Swallow, and she's put in loads of like really useful stuff. So there's a Pytown pies. There's things like the little kind of the supermarkets, campgrounds. But for clarity, I will just go into settings and take the POIs off just so we can see a bit clearer. So Victor, he is in Silver City, which is up here. And you can see the course has changed a little bit over the years. I'll just put my heat map on from, that's the route personal activities from 2019. So it used to go straight out the highway. I mean, it's not the nicest section. It's a fairly big highway. I don't recall it being too busy when I was there. But off-road's probably better and probably safer. So looks like Victor's probably gonna, it's definitely gonna have a stop in Silver City. Let's just go back and see if he has actually started moving again, or whether he stayed in a hotel. Where are we? Zoom in on Victor. He's still in town. I think that will be a shop or something, a gas station. So we'll see. He's obviously resupplying at the moment. So he'll either stop or carry on, but his next section here, just a bit of a desert road, if you can see on these photos. It has been known to be muddy in the last couple of years. But as I said, like, conditions are looking well, and have been the whole divide pretty excellent. So I shouldn't anticipate much in the way of problems from Victor from now on in. So that's what Victor's gonna have to do immediately. Then the bit of road, and then this kind of section again. This is proper desert and sandy. You can get some rattlesnakes out there. Again, it's not too bad, fairly well driven, but it can be soft at times. Then you cross the highway. There is a little resupply here. Kind of a resupply. And then you're kind of off into the final stretch. You've got Hachita. This will be the final place on the route to resupply. It's just a tiny little shop there. Kind of the community in Hachita There's people that kind of look after Divide riders every single year, and I think a few people are asking about how you get home from the Tour Divide in the comments. Basically, there's a guy called Jeff Sharp who he normally does like a service. He's got a ranch near Hachita, and he picks people up from the finish if no one's there for them, and then looks after them, and then the local community kind of help to send people on their way, get them to like Phoenix or wherever they need to go, back to Silver City to get connections elsewhere. So they'll be there. Someone will be there. Normally the leaders, Victor, there was normally 2 or 3 people. I mean, it's not like it's a Tour de France stage victory. It's like a few people. It's a 60-mile drive out, like on a dead-end road. So you've got to be very keen to go out there. So on that final stretch, you can see this is the route I did in 2019. It used to be a highway all the way. Added this section in here. If you remember on the podcast that was earlier in the week, Justinas was just telling us, it's kind of not always that clear. It's kind of, navigation's hard, especially at night. I suspect Victor will be there in daylight, so it should be a bit easier for him. And then once he's off there, it's the final run into the finish, into Antelope Wells. I'll put the little Google Man on there, and you can just see it's a straight highway into the desert. You can't see anything. I mean, I've not done this in the daylight. I've only seen it in the dark. But you can kind of feel the mountains around you, and then eventually you just see the little border post. There's a tiny little climb, and then you sort of basically freewheel down to the finish. And that's what Victor's going to be experiencing. And everyone else obviously still further back. Lawrence, Angus going to have this big road section to Grants, and then the Pyetown section, and the Helar, which is tough. But once you're through the Helar, you've really broken the back of it, and you're on the home run then. So that is what Victor's going to have, and still got the 25% discount on premium. So I'll put the link up for that, and I've got a couple of messages now. So I think we'll start with Angus. So he sent me a little update. Let's see what Angus has to say.
Hey Josh, just checking in from Abercury. It is around like 5:30 in the afternoon. Rolled in here. It is very warm outside. So I am making the most of my stop here. Definitely the longest stop I've had in a while. It's sort of got to the point in the race that, Lawrence is quite far ahead. I've got a gap of position 4, and these moments, your mental state just sort of goes up and down. And I feel ultimately fine, but just like I've got still quite a big task to do, which is essentially just see this thing out and riding the next 1,000 kilometers, which is still a really long way. So trying to get the motivation to just get up and roll up over the big hill to Cuba. Probably not going to make it to Cuba tonight. I need a few more hours to do that, so I'll probably end up picking up top again. But anyway, I'm mostly okay. Throat is still, throat, lungs, chest, all rolled into one is not ideal, but it's not getting any worse. That's the important thing. Anyway, bye for now. Ciao, ciao.
So that's Angus, and kind of like I was saying earlier, everyone's just feeling or sounding like they're just getting worn down by it. Just a little bit tired. Everything's a little bit harder than it needs to be. And so that's Angus, but like you said, he's kind of in no man's land. He's looking fairly solid for third place. He's got 100 miles or so just under over Xavier and Mikko, but it's going to be hard for him to catch Lawrence. He's just got to get the job done, and sometimes that's quite difficult mentally when you lose that carrot to push again, the motivation. But Angus is doing a great job. And it's good to hear from him. And then I've also got a voice note from Megan. So let's hear about Megan and see how her day went.
Tour Divide update, day 10. I rode from the town of Como to someplace in the middle of nowhere, past Machi Creek store. That's how I mark my progress, is resupply stores. It's been cool seeing things in the day that I rode through at night, like Marshall Pass, and just kind of seeing what they actually look like. So that's a pretty good reason for returning. When I came through Salida, my friend Janie Hayes was there with her entire family and friends to cheer me through, which was really, really cool to see. I got a great burrito in Poncho Springs, and I felt a little sluggish after that going up Marshall Pass. I think it was the 44-ounce Coke. I think that was like maybe a little bit too much Coke even for me. Yeah, body's definitely starting to come undone a little bit. It's kind of a low grade pain and fatigue everywhere. Yeah, not much to be done except sleep and ride, I guess. Next up, some big passes, so better get after it.
So yeah, so that's Megan, and again that theme is, 10 days in, everything's just falling apart a bit. So yeah, again, Megan sounds like she's getting tired, but I mean she's riding super strong. And yeah, saw some friends passing through Salida. I think that'd be the thumbnail as well if you see the photo of Megan and her friends, which is cool. It's a nice sort of benefit if you know people on the route. And yeah, she's just trucking along doing her thing. It's amazing as well. She said about drinking a massive can of Coke. Like you can go from feeling totally broken at this stage and then just put a load of sugar in the system and you can feel absolutely invincible. And yeah, it's sometimes you need to manage those efforts when you feel that good, because the payoff is that you go back to feeling awful again pretty quick. But yeah, it's fascinating. Really like as an experiment on your body, it's really fascinating to understand kind of what sugar and food and energy levels and sleep do to you when you're in such a fatigue state. And yeah, pretty cool in a weird way. So yeah, that's kind of Megan and Angus, and then just a couple of stories as well. So looks like we're getting photos from out on the route. That's Victor, still looking very white. He must be washing his kit every night, or he's got some fresh kit with him. Looking aero. This man's an aero bullet, and not surprising. I mean, especially in a super fast year like this with good sections of tailwind, all those little aero gains add up. Not to mention Victor's legs. Obviously do some good pedaling. So yeah, bikepacking.com got some more stuff from Eddie Clark, so go check that out. And then most importantly, the big question yesterday was, would Victor get any pie? And he got the Pie Town pie. So he has had I'd say the full Tour Divide experience, culinary experience. Maybe not the full Tour Divide experience. He's not had the peanut butter mud, but yeah. So that's Victor, and he's looking pretty strong. And let's go and just check the tracker again, just to see if he's gone to bed yet or if he's carrying on. I imagine he's probably still resupplying somewhere. Yeah, still in the same location. So probably have to wait till tomorrow to see if he slept or not. And then it's Felix, and he just put some really nice photos. Look at that, beautiful weather, beautiful sunsets. That's his chain ring, a bit of crank rub there, Felix. And yeah, dusty out there. Indiana Pass. Yeah, beautiful. Tour Divide is a pretty special thing, and I don't know, it's quite difficult every year just sitting here talking about it rather than actually being out there doing it. And I think it gets under people's skin, and I think probably anyone that's done it before and watches the dots every year has similar feelings, and there's a reason people keep going back years and years. So yeah, I'm sure I'll be back at some point, but in the meantime I'm talking about it. So that's it for today, and tomorrow I suspect I'll be announcing a new record and a winner with Victor. So yeah, listening tomorrow, and I'll catch you then.